Welcome back to the channel. I'm working on a timber frame project. The plan is to, it is a 16 by 20 foot building that's going to be traditionally built in timber frame construction, and I'm using up all the timbers that were left over from the barn project and timbers I've been kicking around for years. And like the one I'm sitting on, it's gray. It's just dried out. But they're going to be, with the planer, I'm going to plane all four sides of every beam to see exactly how many I have and what quality they are. You see the tractor's already got 4 on them. These came off the pile. And they get planed up and they look like that. Now some of those are hemlock, and I think I'll use those as floor beams. But starting a new project, and I'm going to take you along. Hopefully you'll find it interesting. Why don't I go show you the plans so you have an idea of what's going to go on. There are the plans. Are some of them. I've actually done more drawings of specific parts and sent them off to an engineer, because the building inspector in this town said can't give you a building permit because unless you get an engineer to approve the design. He wants wind loads and snow loads and the whole deal, and so I'm dealing with an engineering company, and it specifically deals with timber frame stuff. And hopefully this week I'll get the actual stamped engineer's plan so that I can actually start. But I'm actually going to start right now by planing up all the beams, seeing what I have and what I don't have, and if I have to go make some, I'll make them. But that's what's going on. It's just a simple building, actually. It's way, in my opinion, it's way overbuilt. But I didn't go to school to be an engineer. All right, there's the before. Let's plane it up. Well, and there's the after. I think that looks pretty good. For beams, it's been sitting outside for 2 years. So they're just drying cracks. That's gonna happen regardless if they outside or in a building. All right, I've got that pile, and there's a pile over there that also has to get done. So I've got a lot of the same stuff over and over. So I'm not gonna film all of that. You'll get bored and stop watching. All right, there is a pile of beams that are planed, not to perfection, but they are planed. This one here is actually pretty awful. It's got a big spike knot in the middle. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one. It's pretty awful. But this is a good start. That one there is a 8x10, and it's really not that nice, actually. I think I'm going to put it on the sawmill and cut it into boards. So that's it for today. That planer weighs an absolute ton. But next time I get to this, I'm going to tackle that pile over there. And then we can start to actually pick out the ones we want to use for the things like the trusses, which have to be pretty nice. And there are some nice ones in there. So now that I can see them, I'm going to go through and select the right ones for the right parts of the building. So that's it for today. It's the end of the day for me. Welcome back to planing up some of the timbers. I've got a 10-footer on here now, and the planer yesterday was just, I knew it was on the end of the life of the blades, and it just didn't like to plane through any of the knots, and it had been dinged at least once or twice. So I got the planer flipped upside down. Actually, let's flip it to here. You can see these blades are they're just as dull as can be, and if I run my fingernail, there is a spot here where it's been hit. I hit something, a little stone or something. So what I do is, here, let me get the old blade. This is what the old blades look like. Well, you can see all of this stuff. They're actually two-sided, but they're disposable. I don't think you can sharpen them. So get one side dull, you flip them around, so you get at least two times out of a blade, which is nice. And when I put new blades in, I'll order a spare just to have on hand, because when those get dull, I don't want to have to go to the store. So it's called proper planning prevents piss poor performance. So I'll show you how easy it is to change these blades. It's as simple as it can be. Take that old one off. I'm just going to take these all off. And then you just take these cover plates, these hold down plates, I don't know what you want to call them. Those come off. And then there are 2 Phillips head screws that have to come out. And then this, just pull the whole assembly off with the blade on the front. And this one's the no good, it's been used twice. Grab the new one. And it's got locator. It can only go in one direction, which is nice. So fools like me can't screw it up. And then there are some locator pins in here. The only thing you have to make sure is that it's centered on the cutter head, because the blade can slide back and forth. So I want to make sure that that's centered there, so it's not, when I turn it on, it's not hitting anything. And let's see if I can get these started. And then it's basically just put it back together. Just do everything in reverse. And before I go any further, I'm going to make sure that it does spin around, nothing hits. Yep, sounds good. So now I can put on these guys. Gotta plug it in. Make sure before you change the blades that you unplug it. Alright. So this planer, it's a 12-inch planer, and I really hemmed and hawed whether I should buy it because it was really expensive. But I have to say it's paying for itself if it hasn't already paid for itself. And there's no other way I could plane these beams up. So, worthwhile investment. So now that those blades are changed out, I'll go and order another set to have on hand. And I can get back to planing. There we go. That's the end of day 2 of planing beams. I don't think I have enough. I don't know. It's going to use up a lot of beams, this little building. But that's all I had on hand. Those are the ones that are going to get planed up. This one down here is going to get, it's not planed, it's going to be a floor beam, so it doesn't never be seen. I think the planer works pretty good, the sharp blade. I may do another pass on some of these, especially those over there, before I change the blade out. They look pretty junky. All right, gonna work on extending the woods road tomorrow, and then I need to cut some more trees down. A tree hugger that cuts trees down.